Welcome to Corys Conscious Living.
Please subscribe. The button's down there. Can you see it? On your right there. Yes, that's it. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. Are you ready to meditate with Cory? You know what to do. Make sure that you're laying down and you're comfortable and everything is just right in your room. The lights are just right. Your blankets are just right. You're feeling snuggly and warm and safe. It's time to listen to a story. Heidi, Cherry and Vaya had just landed in Paris. They were so excited. They'd gone to Paris to visit Paris. Paris, their friend. She was absolutely wonderful and they loved her very much. Paris happened to live in Paris, and Paris is the capital of France. And there were so many things that they were excited about seeing. Paris had been living there a long time and she had some super things lined up to show them. When they first landed, Cherry said, "Oh, you know what? Oh, can you smell it? I can already smell spaghetti. Oh, I can smell pizza." Heidi started laughing. "No," she said. "I don't think so, Cherry." "Oh, come on, Heidi, can't you smell it? Oh, it smells like pizza. I swear, I can smell homemade bread and really good pizza." Vaya said, "I think I can. I think I can smell pizza. Me definitely can smell something that smells very, very nice." Paris said, "There's restaurants everywhere. Restaurants and cafes. There's so much good food here and there's so many places to eat. I'm so excited to see you guys. How was your flight?" Heidi said, "It was a little bit bumpy at times. A little bit scary." Cherry said, "OMG, understatement of the year. The plane, it was like bobbing all over the place. And at one point I thought, oh no, that's it. This is the end. I'm not going to make it to Paris. I'm never going to be able to swim again. I'm never going to be able to eat ice cream again. And I was really excited about eating gelato. Is it gelato? Gelato? I'm really excited about eating this extremely creamy ice cream here in Paris. And I thought, oh no, that's it. I'm at the end. We're gonna die. We're gonna die here on this plane, and it's gonna be you and Heidi and Vaya. You're gonna be the last person I'm gonna see." Paris started laughing. "But you didn't die, and you made it." Cherry said, "I know, thank goodness. Thank you so much, angels and friends and everybody else that was up there in the sky helping us to make it to Paris. Oh, because I really didn't like that flight." Vaya said, "When it was bobbing up and down, me was just thinking about if I was a bird in the sky, maybe I would fly and bob up and down through the clouds and it would be so much fun if I was in control and I was just doing it myself, just bobbing up and down and then I wasn't scared." Cherry said, "Well, I wish you'd have shared that with me when we were actually on the plane, Vaya, because that's an awesome idea." Vaya said, Sorry, Cherry." Paris said, "Right, well, the first thing I think we should do is go back to the apartment, put all of your luggage there, make sure that you're washed up and rested if you need to take a nap and all of that stuff, and then we can go out to eat." Heidi said, "Oh, right, that sounds like a very good plan." They went back to the apartment. They dropped off their luggage at Paris's apartment. They got washed up and freshened up and got changed. Cherry put on her special OMG Paris t-shirt that said OMG, that was kind of like leaning up against the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Paris said, "Very nice t-shirt, Cherry." Cherry said, "Yeah, me thanks, yeah. I designed it myself, especially for Paris. I have a friend that designs all my OMG OMG t-shirts, and she makes them especially to how I want them, and I thought this was very appropriate. I was wondering if I should do the Leaning Tower of Pisa or the Leaning Tower of Pizza and actually have a big piece of pizza pretending to lean to one side like that building does. I thought that were really awesome. But, I didn't know whether anybody would understand my sense of humour, so I didn't bother and I did the obvious. Paris said, well, it's a very nice t-shirt. Heidi had a new pair of glasses. They were red instead of black and they looked very spiff. And Vaya had a white dress on with sprinkly diamond pieces all over it and a white beaded tiara. She looked lovely. They were ready to visit Paris. The first stop that they went to was the pizza parlour. Of course, right? They were all very hungry. Oh, I don't know. I just don't know what to eat, said Cherry. I've been really excited about it. I don't know whether to eat spaghetti because I know that pasta from Paris is supposed to be like the bestest experience in the entire world because they make it from scratch and it really melts in your mouth and it's so delicious and you don't need a lot of trimmings and fancy things on it because it just tastes so good on its own. So could I have really nice, just plain, maybe buttered spaghetti, or I could have some kind of linguine. That's a flat spaghetti, Vaya, just in case you didn't know. Oh, I could have some ravioli. That's little squares of pasta that they stuff with mushrooms or meat, or maybe they'll stuff it with tuna. Just in case you didn't know, Vaya. And then also maybe I could have pizza because I've heard that, if you're going to eat pizza, this is the mother of pizzas. It's the bestest pizza in the world. I really don't know what to do. Oh, I know. I have an idea. How about we all order something different and we share? Paris said, that's a really good idea, Cherry. Even though she was thinking, maybe Cherry's thinking Paris is actually Italy. But still, it's okay. She was confused, but it didn't matter. So they all ordered different things. Vaya ordered ravioli stuffed with mushrooms. Cherry finally decided to have a margherita pizza that had just fresh tomatoes and fresh basil and the best mozzarella cheese on it. Heidi ordered linguine with a creamy, lemony sauce, and Paris ordered spaghetti bolognese, which was normal spaghetti with a tomatoey, meaty sauce. When the food came, they all shared each other's food. Cherry said, OMG, if our flight is bad from Paris, when we go home, I'll have lived. It doesn't really matter if we have the bumpiest, scariest flight and I never get back. This moment, right now, this meal is all I ever needed. This is I could just die tomorrow and I'd be happy. It's the bestest meal anyone could ever have, don't you think? Everyone around the table nodded. It was the most delicious food that any of them had ever tasted. After lunch, they decided they had to visit the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Of course they did. Cherry couldn't quite understand why it was leaning. Paris had to explain. Vaya still didn't understand why it was leaning and it wasn't falling down even after the explanation. Heidi said, I'd just like to go to the top. Could we go to the top and take a picture? And then Paris said she had an even better place to stand. You could take a picture where it looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa is being held up by your paw. And she set the cats up all in the right place, so when she took the picture, it looked like they were holding the tower up, which was the bestest, awesomest picture ever. After that, they went back to the apartment and rested for a while. And then they got ready to go out to a very special place. Paris was taking them to the opera. "I don't believe it," said Cherry. "This is on my wish list. This is on my bucket list. This is something I've always wanted to do. All these fancy people that go to operas, it always looks so nice. And luckily, we all bought our bestest clothes and we can get dressed up really fancy and go. Can we sit in a box? Can we sit in one of those boxes and you have to wear those fancy glasses so you can see because you're so high up and you're so fancy and posh and it looks so awesome. Can we do that?" Paris said, "We just so happen to have a box reserved for our family." "OMG, Paris, I really don't believe it. What are we going to see at the opera? What are we going to see? What is it?" Paris said, "It's called the Phantom of the Opera." Vaya said, me don't like the sound of that. That sounds a bit scary." Cherry said, "Phantom? What's a phantom?" Paris said, "Well, it's kind of like, it's crossed between like a monster and a ghost, I think, in this opera story." Heidi said, "Ooh, that sounds very interesting. I'm up for it. Is there singing?" Paris said, "Yes, there's lots of singing." Cherry said, "Will we understand it? Because I know that sometimes they don't even speak in English language, do they? Sometimes they speak like in a foreign language and you might not even understand it. Will we understand it?" Paris said she'd only ever been to the opera 2 times before and both times it wasn't in English. But both times she managed to understand the story because the actors and the singers and the songs are so passionate and so expressive that you'll follow it anyway. Cherry said, "I can't wait. I really can't wait." When they got there, they all settled down into the box. Paris had got them all their fancy goggles that they flipped over and watched so they could see closer onto the stage and what the actors and actresses were doing. The songs were so beautiful. At one point, Cherry was crying. It was so passionate. "This is lovely. It's so sad, but it's really nice. But it's sad. And it's sad and it's nice and I just can't explain it. I think it's awful. It's awful." Vaya was crying. Me thinks it's so sad too. Why does it have to be so sad? Heidi was the only one that wasn't crying. "It's okay, girls. Just keep watching. I'm sure it's not sad at the end." The girls kept watching. The actual story was so beautiful, and the songs, everything about it was just breathtaking. When it was over and the curtains closed, the cats just sat there in awe. Even Cherry was quiet. Paris let them have a moment. She remembered the first time that she went to the opera. She did the same thing. She just sat there at the end and wasn't quite ready to leave. She wanted to soak up the story, make the moment last. It was so nice. Eventually, the cats were ready to go home. It had been a really long day. Paris had set up a big, snuggly, comfy bed for them, and she placed it at the bottom of her bed so that they could all sleep together. They talked about their day, all of the best parts, the food, the pictures, the opera, the fancy glasses and the special outfits. The thing is the Leaning Tower of Pisa even in Paris? Were they even there? Was Cherry all confused about Paris and the Eiffel Tower and the Leaning Tower of Pisa and Italy and all of her favourite foods being Italian? Did they even go to Paris? to be with Paris, their best friend? Or was this all one big dream? Will we ever know? Did you even notice? Anyway, back to the story. And eventually, they all got super tired, snuggled up together, and fell fast asleep in Paris, with Paris, one of their bestest friends.